turning away and sort of forlornly looking at something else, you know, sort of imagining with ennui and the emptiness of their existence. maybe not, I don't know.
Who knows? It must be very difficult to ever worry about the emptiness of your existence when you have that many yachts.
Well, true that.
Yeah, and that many parties. Have you ever been? I'd love to go to a party like they see in a hip hop video. Has anyone ever been to one of those? Just women just endlessly shaking their arses. That's all they do, it seems, at these parties.
I want to get one of those bouncing cars.
Yeah, a bouncing car.
They look amazing.
Okay, 64046, Stephen.6music@music.here. Have you ever been to a party where there's just women in bikinis shaking their arses endlessly while you just smoke cigars? Or have you ever been in a bouncing car? 64046. I don't know if anyone has outside of the hip hop community. And your final tune then that you've got for us.
The final tune has been taken from my third resource, which is Pitchfork, pitchforkmedia.com. I'm sure a lot of your listeners have already go there, but it is amazing for trawling kind of new music. It does all the work for you. As Wikipedia says, the site is reputed to have significant influence in the independent music world, like that, although criticised by some for its hipster attitude. What's wrong with that? Devotion to hype and trends, I'm there, and a focus on obscure bands and musical styles. I mean, I'm high-fiving that.
Yeah, sure, yeah,
absolutely. It's brilliant. So, what I'm trawling there, I came across this guy called Sexton Blake. He comes from the Portland music scene, Portland, Oregon. It's absolutely vibrant in Portland, where so many bands have come out. It's something that I found especially for you, Steve. It's Hungry Hearts, cover of Bruce Springsteen's famously jaunty track, which apparently he originally wrote for the Ramones. But this is a much sadder, more forlorn, more electronic take on it.
You're listening to BBC Six Music. It's the Steve Show. I love it when a cover version sucks out the darkness and the sadness at the heart of a song that they're covering, and obviously Ryan Adams' version of Wonderwall does that beautifully, but that's a great version. A lot of people, of course, dismiss that as one of Bruce's most poppy numbers, but it's actually a very moody and melancholy song. Well,
the lyrics are incredibly sad. Apparently, I heard that he actually sped up his voice slightly to increase the jauntiness and poppiness of the track originally. But yeah, I mean, it's incredibly dull.
So that was Sexton Blake doing his version of Bruce's Hungry Heart, and it's the final choice of Vic Sharma, our internet guru. A little round of applause, please, in the Steve Wright style. I've always enjoyed the selections that he's coming with, and once again, you've not let us down this week, despite some behind-the-scenes blunders on his part, which I won't go into. But we'll be delving into the pigeonhole and listening to 3 new tracks that are upcoming releases after we've heard from Turin Breaks. Turin Breaks, Painkiller on the Steve Show, BBC Six Music. So regular listeners will know that there is a pigeonhole at Six Music where little men, I assume they're tiny little men, from various A&R departments come round and under cover of darkness they deposit things in my hole. Oh, I wasn't even going to go there, and it came out in that way, and I couldn't help it. And so yes, I've not had much of a chance because I've been busy and also down at Glastonbury to sort of really see what's going on in there, but I've pulled out a couple of tunes which I thought we could give the once over to. And first up this week is a track that is from the current Cribs album, Men's Needs, Women's Needs, Whatever, and this is not released as a single until the end of July, but it's on that album, as I say, and it's Moving Pictures. Have a listen. Forthcoming single from the Cribs, that's Moving Pictures, the first of our pigeonhole tracks this week. And the Cribs, I notice online, have quite a groundswell of support. Harry, will you be adding your name to their lists?
Yeah, possibly, Steve. My thing with the Cribs is I listened to them. That was quite nice. Admirable riffage, a nice little shouty bit. It was all good fun. I read the interviews. They talk a lot of sense. I actually got quite a lot of time for them. I see a picture of them with that greasy hair and those stupid T-shirts he wears with half his pigeony chest showing, and I want to be physically ill. So, as long as I'm experiencing the Cribs in this context, I love it.
Right. Now, I'm not going to... I mean, you're going to sound, to some listeners, like a little bit of a square.
Well,
what you've said there. I mean, we all know you work in a bank.
I've never pretended to be anything different, Steve.
Sure. But, I should just point out now, you don't have to come to Six Music in a suit and tie.
It's very difficult getting the headphones on over the bowler hat.
Exactly, but and it's lovely as well. Is Debenhams having a sale? Oh,
hark at Mr. Free Clothes.
Yeah. Oh. He's damn right. These jeans, I didn't pay for
Don't
them.
even pay for your own clothes. Just wear what you get sent.
No. I've only been given free jeans. If you're out there and you'd like to give me other free stuff, 64846. Sammy, you're a young person. Are the cribs tickling your fancy?
My fancy's been mildly tickled. I've got the album, and like Harry says, it's pleasant. I'm not going to say it's amazing and it's the thing I'm mostly listening to, but it's good. It's not bad. I don't like the name though, and I know it's not a way to judge a band, nor is a man's pigeon chest. But that is how my dad now judges popular music.
Based on the name of the band?
He hates Snow Patrol and Arctic Monkeys because they're just ridiculous names, apparently. And he doesn't like the use of Kaiser Chiefs and Franz Ferdinand.
Oh, he doesn't like the references to First World War?
He doesn't enjoy it, no. He will listen to the music, but it really frustrates him and gets him angry. And every now and then it'll come around, he'll have his bit rant about the band names, and then it'll fade away again. But we were watching something on telly last night about modern music, and he got riled. Riled. It was terrible.
Is it all a bit of a racket to him?
Well, no, my dad is like really cool and trendy, and he does enjoy good music, but sometimes he just goes off on one about the strangest things about Blair's frontman Damon Albarn. Last night was his particular
bugbear.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a pretty picture, but yes, I just in my opinion, the Cribs, not a great name for that band.
Do you agree, Vic Sharma, internet guru, that the Cribs is a mediocre name, but maybe the music itself is singing a different tune? What?
I think it's all a bit blah.
Yeah.
A bit, you know. I thought the fact that the rhythm guitar was on half time showed that perhaps they could redo it as a ballad.
Right.
I think they should.
Okay.
Give it a go.
All right, well, there you are. If you're a crib, then why not give it a go with your pigeon chest? Next up is a track which many of you would have already heard. I think it's been downloadable for a while, but I believe it's released on actual CD if you bother with such antiques. Tomorrow, it's Tarantula from the Smashing Pumpkins. From the forthcoming album, Zeitgeist, that's Smashing Pumpkins and Tarantula. Vic Sharma, before the Smashing Pumpkins split up or went on hiatus or whatever happened to them the first time round, a lot of people I think was increasingly dismissing them as being a bit overblown and a bit sort of exhausting, and they've come back now with this new album. Do you feel that those accusations are still valid?
Business as usual.
Right.
No, I actually really liked that. It was kind of like unreconstructed. It was very British, I thought. It's sort of like quite Sabbath.
Right.
As opposed to kind of like American rock, it was quite British rock, and I think that there's a kind of climax to CSI Miami, which has
yes.
all over it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people running through streets. Yeah. Sammy, were you a Pumpkins fan?
I wasn't. It kind of passed me. It was just about the wrong kind of time, but retrospectively I'm starting to get into them, and I really love that song. I've heard it a couple of times and I think it's brilliant. Like you say, it does have Sabbath airs to it, but the drumming's great, and it's kind of filling a hole for me at the minute that isn't being filled. You've got the soft kind of wishy-washy stuff, and you've got the a bit extreme people painting their faces and full of metal, but that was brilliant. I really got into that.
You want to be filled by some hard rock.
Well, I slapped my thighs endlessly there. They're slightly raw. I was drumming along there, but that was really good. Yeah.
Now, Harry, you went to see them live in the week, so that suggests you're a Pumpkins fan.
Yeah. They were absolutely tremendous live. I saw them at the Shepherd's Bush Empire about 10 or 11 days ago. No need to be so accurate, really. But no, tremendous show. They played for almost 3 hours. The only bit of slack in the entire show, the first encore, was a 20-minute song. Someone had said on the way, and they said, there's a 20-minute song. They're going to play a 20-minute song. And so they got through the set, and we were like, we got away with that.
Yeah.
Coming back for the encore, 20 minutes, we were like, for the love of God. But apart from that, the show was absolutely electric. I mean, the two new guys he's got into the band fitted in perfectly. They just made a tremendous noise, and the crowd went literally berserk for it.
There appears to have been a thumbs up in the studio
Huge
for Smashing Pumpkins. We have to go to a trial, but after that we'll be hearing from Jakobinarina, Iceland's finest, and a track called This Is an Advertisement. From Iceland, that's Jakobinarina, and this is an advertisement which is described on the back of the CD here as a perfect slice of punk pop. Sammy, was it?
I'm gonna go out there with this one and say yes, I'd dance to it if I had to, knowing that if I stopped dancing my feet would get sore.
Right.
Yeah. When you're in a club and your shoes hurt, but if you keep going you actually ride through the pain, and if you sit down for a song, then it gets you. That would be the kind of song going, I do actually want to sit down because it's not good enough to dance to, but if I stop it's going to hurt. And I didn't get it, to be honest. Yeah.
There's clearly a whiff of irony running through it. Harry, is that a problem for you?
No, not at all. I mean, I quite enjoyed it. We've talked about this before, Steve. A lot of bands these days, it seems they've gone into it as a career choice. When I liked it when people were just genuinely unhinged and making bands, and that sounded a bit unhinged.
Yes.
I can't imagine them. A lot of bands I can imagine sidling up to me at the drinks machine at work. You know, asking if they could borrow my stapler, whereas I can't imagine those guys wanting to borrow my stapler.
Absolutely. Is that a good thing?
That's a very
Okay, good, excellent. It's obviously, ironically named This Is an Advertisement, and they mentioned they'll be happy to change their name to Coca-Cola. And I've always thought it would be great to write a song, of course, as we've discussed in the past, that would just, which would just blatantly be used on TV montages. My friend wants to write one just called "I'm a winner, we've won something, we're winners," which you can imagine featuring on any sporting event. But do you feel that, ironically, This Is an Advertisement will end up being used in some kind of postmodern advertisement?
I see it as the soundtrack to a huge honk of phlegm flying through the air.
Right. Oh, dearie me, so is that, again, I can't tell anymore, and these analogies are too complicated. We have had dancing, sore feet, we've had sidling up at the wall. Is that good or bad?
I would buy that phlegm on the basis of that song.
Yeah, it's kind of I'm digging the semiotic title, the homage to Magritte. This is not a pipe, this is not a love song, whatever. But it's just a bit noisy.
Sure, noise not fun for you. Well, thank you very much indeed. Clearly, so what we've decided then, people, that Tarantula Smashing Pumpkins has given the thumbs up?
Yes,
on
absolutely.
this week's show. Okay, good. We have to go to the news shortly. After the news, we'll have one of you, the listeners, online recommending a choice, plus Sammy as well. And stay tuned as well. Thin Lizzy, Jailbreak on the Steve Show, BBC Six Music with me, Stephen Merchant. I think it was when I was on a different radio station some time ago and we played that tune, and someone pointed out that he sings in it, there's a jailbreak somewhere in the town, almost certainly at the jail.
Yeah.
I would have thought. So if the police are going anywhere, that's where they should head, I'd have thought. But yes, it's a Steve Show, and interesting information already is seeping into us from Sammy, who apparently now what? I'm not even going to say the words, you say them.
Right, a while ago, about 2 years ago, I was auditioning to be in this really odd thing, and it was like a girl band that were going to be televised, and as I probably mentioned, I played drums, so I was going up to be the drummer. I didn't get the part, but I'm not bitter. And I was in the canteen of these studios we were rehearsing in, and a band walked in, and all the other girls were like, "Oh, look at them, they're all hairy, they must be a band." And I went, it's Thin Lizzy, that's Thin Lizzy. And everyone was like, "Oh right." So I went and sat next to them. I was like, "Hi, I really like you." And their drummer was quite young and from Darlington, he's a new bloke, and he said, "Do you want to pop down and have a look at my kit?" And I was allowed to play it, and they did a bit of whiskey in the jar for me.
Wow, so you've drummed with Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy.
Okay, I'm just going to make a note of that alongside the Badger story from earlier. Thin Lizzy, that's quite impressive actually, drumming with Thin Lizzy.
I called my dad up and said, "I've just played drums with Thin Lizzy." He went, "I've just put another staircase in." It was just like, "Oh, okay."
He just put another staircase in?
Yeah,
what, into your house?
No, he's a joiner.
Oh,
we
right.
don't have
I was
to
going to say, you just got multiple staircases, yeah, leading to nowhere. Like a Tower of Babel that one day will reach the heavens. Well, that's impressive. Well done, I have to say. That's little. Words are my tool. So earlier we were asking you for your Glastonbury horror stories. We didn't really experience Glastonbury in its full effect. And Harry, what's been coming in?
Well, the urine stories have literally been flooding in, Steve. We've had no end of them. We'll just do one of those for now. Jeff has texted in to say that his friend Steve had to pee while in the middle of the crowd for The Who. So he didn't want to leave. So it doesn't say what he was aiming for, but he missed and managed to go in his girlfriend's welly. And he also wet himself in the queue for the toilet in an unrelated incident.
Good, excellent, solid urine stories.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Good, yeah.
I think we're going to wrap up the urine stories because I really need to go now. Alice, who I think got in touch before, said that a bug flew into her eye and it was there for quite a while, and a man next to her thought she was getting teary-eyed at Rufus Wainwright, so he kissed her and told her she was lovely. Which is really nice.
That's quite a way to pull someone, isn't it?
Well, she did mention he was old. So if you're into old men, get an insect in your eye and look at urine.
And the last Glastonbury story is from Adrian, who went with his wife and 2 kids, which is an incredible effort.
Madman.
He tells a rather unsavoury story about a pot of super noodles, which we won't go into. But he was actually one of the guys who had coach tickets. It wasn't meant to leave until 4 a.m. Monday morning, so they had to keep the kids awake. It was raining, it was muddy, they had heavy